Hello and welcome to another Arkies video and to a new Daily Race A on Gran Turismo 7. This time we are racing Group 3 cars at Interlagos. This very much feels like a Race B, but Race A has really been a lot of different stuff lately, so we just have to go with it. I did 4 races this morning, and this is the highlights from those 4 races. Contained a bit of everything. This is not a strong combo for me, but I just had to give it a go. And if you are enjoying the content, please feel free to hit the like and subscribe button. It is highly appreciated. Now let's jump into the very first race of the morning. So, first available race of the week, we are starting without a qualifying time. For some reason, all the decals was missing on my car when the race started, but we just have to go without them, I guess. Now we are coming in to turn 1. I've only got 1 car behind me, so we should have a chance of surviving. I'm just taking it nice and easy, and everyone is taking it nice and easy so far, so that's good to see. We all survived turn 1 and we carry on this first lap. Looked like we had someone slightly wide, but no penalties, so all seem to be good up there. Now we've got another sort of heavy braking zone and another corner where people tend to send it. Now we definitely got a car running wide there, and now it goes all ping pong in my rear view mirror, so that created a bit of space behind me, and we also see some puffs of smoke ahead, but we are a bit on our own at the moment, and we'll see if we can catch up to the group up ahead. Now we've got this twisty infield, and I still need to learn to get used to this combo. Since this was mostly a Race B favorite all the way since back to GT Sport, and I've always mostly been doing Race A and sometimes Race C, Interlagos is not really a strong track for me, but maybe I'll learn along the way. Now we survived lap 1, we are jumping ahead, we are on lap 2, we are closing in on P8 who has a penalty, and the cars behind me are closing in as well. So it is all getting a bit tight, and I am getting really close to P8 there, and I need to back off a bit, and P10 is getting really close to me behind once again. I need to back off a bit. We had someone spinning there, that was a free position, but now I am going to lose that position to the Swiss driver, and almost lost another one. We are going side by side, and here I am getting not slightly wide by the French driver. To be fair, they did back off a bit, but they still got the inside, and now we're coming in to turn 1 side by side, and now I had to give up that position. So we are almost dead last, and for some reason I had a bit of a brain fart moment, so I'm going to run wide. I didn't even have to do that. I could have easily avoided it. I think I was glancing at the delta and I picked up a penalty. So now, as we serve that one, we are down to dead last as the Belgian driver is getting past me. Now we are going to jump ahead in this one, and we are on lap 4 now, and we've got a German driver. He's having a nightmare there, so at least we are not last anymore. And now we've got a lot of smoke ahead. Something clearly went on there, and a lot of contact going on. And as we are closing in, we will see that we've got a half-second penalty for the French driver, and we've also got Handsome Frank with a 6.5-second penalty. So clearly some sort of argument had been going on there. Now the French driver tried to go for a send. I tried to leave room for Handsome Frank. It is all getting a bit heated at the moment. I just want to survive this. We are getting close to the final part of the infield, and let's just try to stay close to the French driver as they are about to serve the penalty. In fact, we ended up making sort of, no, not really a move, but we did put our car on the inside. Maybe they were afraid I would go for an actual dive, but not really necessary when they had a penalty to serve. Now we are on the last lap, and P5 and P6 had been fighting for long enough for me to catch up to them. And here the Finnish driver got a bit sideways. Now we are getting the inside line, and we will keep our nose in, and the Finnish driver gives up the position at this point. So we are back up to P6 now, and now we are at the end of the race. So that was the first race done, and not really any big disasters happening, but me just still being rather shaky. Now this is race number 2. I decided to not set a qualifying time this morning at all, because I didn't really feel comfortable, and I didn't want to fluke a qualifying lap and then end up being at the front, unable to drive at all. So I will just stay at the back and see what I can pick up through these races. And so far we all survived turn 1, and we are in a sort of an Italian sandwich at the moment. An Italian driver in front of me and 2 behind me. And here I am getting caught out a bit. The Italian is going for a dive. Space Cosmo had to avoid that, and doing that avoidance, there was contact with me. I got caught out by the sudden slowness of the cars, and here I get nudged off the track by another Italian driver. So now we are dropping way back in the orders, and just need to sort ourselves. I might have some dirty tires now. Tough morning so far, and I get another nudge from P12, but they clearly backed out of that one. That was a mistake. And now that Italian who pushed me off was serving a 4-second penalty, so that was a harsh punishment for that one. And now we've got another Italian running wide there, so we are back up to P9, and I'm catching up to Space Cosmo. And as we are going through the S's now, we are getting really close. I am going for the outside line, and Space Cosmo was racing me really clean. So now we are coming into the left-hander. We are side by side, and we managed to keep it side by side, leaving room for each other. And I'm still on the outside, they are still on the inside. And as we're coming up the hill, I think at this point, yeah, they are about to give it up. But that was a nice little battle, so thank you very much for that one. And also sorry for that notch, as the Italian dived you earlier in this race. I couldn't really catch that so fast. And we are jumping on to the next race. That was a P8 for me. So race number 3, still without a qualifying time. And let's see what we can do in this one. And once again, just taking it nice and easy into turn 1. I hope the drivers behind me will take it nice and easy as well. But we all survive once more, and now we've got some different cars, not just Porsches in this one. I am behind the AMG, and now we are coming down towards the left-hander, and I need to make sure I brake early enough. And yeah, it looks like, yeah, the AMG went wide there, and now they are taking the narrow line. I'm taking the outside line. I am going to brake early for this one and hope that they will suffer from those dirty tires. And sure enough, we managed to do a switcheroo, and now we are coming into the first hairpin in the infield. And so far, so good. We have got Handsome Frank in a new car up there. Handsome Frank was trying out some different stuff, I think. And we are still surviving. We had someone pointing the opposite way, so a free position for us there. And now we've got the final corner of lap 1. And up to P7 so far, so that's not too bad. And now we're up to P6 because of someone else having a bit of a moment there. And now we are coming into turn 1. I think we are going to stay on board for a bit, because this is a bit of tight racing. We need to make sure to brake early enough. And yeah, we had some cars coming in really hot behind us. Am I going to lose a position? No, we kept that. They got a bit sideways there. So we are still alive in P6. And I'm just staying in the slipstream. I could defend this, and maybe I should have defended this there. They are going for a move, and yeah, I could have tried to hang on to that one, but never mind. And here I just got an awkward line, and that is going to be a penalty for me, along with a couple of lost positions. So this race went from a decent start to not going so well. I'm going to lose the position to the Norwegian driver. Once again, we are all the way down to P9, and now I am behind some battling in front of me, and I have got a faster driver behind me who also had a moment earlier on in this race. So that means that I have to both have a look at what's going on in front of me, as well as being aware of that driver behind me. And I think this is all going rather slow with them going side by side all the time. I almost went wide there. And yeah, there's a bit of pushing around going on, and yeah, we are a bit bunched up, and to be honest, I think the driver behind me is just waiting for something to happen. And yeah, I'm just trying to pick a place for my car to be, and now they got a good run on me, so they are actually going to go around me round the outside. So that was a nice move, and yeah, that's how it is. I'm going to brake early. I don't want to crash into anyone. So that's a position lost. But that's how it goes. We carry on. We are still in close battle with all these drivers, and stuff can still happen. Now we had the Norwegian driver running a bit wide there. So now we've got some different side-by-side going on ahead of us, and yeah, P9 got nudged wide a bit. They will have dirty tires, and sure enough, they are spinning off the track and also quit the race. Now we are on the final lap, and that had a lot of mishaps. We had a driver off there, and the Spanish driver running wide through this corner, so I am gaining positions. Now it's getting a bit bunched up, and we've got a driver spinning off towards the right-hand side of the track. I almost knocked the Spanish driver off the track as well, but we survived that one in P6, and now we are jumping on to the final race along with all the TCR drivers, and I jumped onto a different account for this one, slightly higher rated. I just wanted to make sure that I could be in the race with these drivers just to see what it was like. And I'm starting dead last because I am the one with the lowest driver rating, starting without a qualifying time. But we'll still see what we can do. So we are behind God Max Power and Titsney at the moment, and you can see already just coming out of the S's, I am falling behind a bit, but we'll see what we can do. There will for sure happen something along the way, and now we've got people driving side by side, so that gives me a good chance to stay with everyone. And that was a really weird mishap happening on the outside of that corner. So that was a handful of positions gained instantly. So we are continuing the lap. We are behind Titsney, who is quickly pulling away. I cannot keep up with him. But yeah, and this was me missing the apex by a mile. So sorry to God Max Power about that being rather slow there. And yeah, Handsome Frank got back onto the racing line. I got a bit scared there, but they let me go through, and I think P7 must have served a penalty. So now we are coming into turn 1 side by side. I managed to stay ahead, but now I have to fight for it for this entire lap. That was a wide line. I wasn't sure if they were going for a move again, so that was a rather slow line as well. And we're coming out of the S's down towards the left-hander, and no, I'm not taking the defensive line just yet, and they are going for a look. So now we are going side by side through this corner. This was some good racing, and we've got Max Power in the mix as well. We are still side by side, so I need to make sure to hang on to the inside. I'm all the way down to second gear just to make sure to keep that inside line, and we are still on the inside for the first hairpin. So we did survive so far, but we've got a lot of tight corners to go still. We are hanging on to this, and I'm going slightly defensive for this hairpin as well. And back onto the power, almost spinning out there, and making sure not to run wide on the exit. Now we've got the final corner to go, so we managed to keep that position for this lap a bit too sideways through the final corner. But as we come into turn 1, I am trying to defend this, and we had Max coming flying in there as well. But at this point, I'm just getting a poor run and a poor line out of this corner, and you will see the German driver getting a much better run out of the final bit of the S's. So I couldn't hang on to that position for anymore. So we just have to settle in P8. Now we've got Blue Racer coming in the McLaren, and now we are going to be side by side. They are on my outside, and I'm just being careful, so making sure not to run into Blue Racer. Blue Racer is really wide there, but we managed to hang on to it, so I lost another position. I am still struggling to figure out this one. And the German driver went off there, so we are back up into P8, and we are still hanging on to Blue Racer, but now we're coming up towards the final corner, and as we're going through the corner, I'm running a bit wide, and sure enough,
it was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Here we go. We end up doing a 360, and we drop down all the way to dead last again. Now we are at the final lap of the race. I did catch up to this battle between the German driver and Max Power, and let's see if we can at least stay close to them. We've got something to watch on the final lap of this race. I am getting rather close to the German driver, and still trying to go for the attack move on Max Power, and I just try to avoid crashing into any of them. And we've not got that many corners to go now. The final hairpin and this long left-hander, and then we've got the final corner. And as we're coming into the final corner, the German driver did run a bit wide, and for some reason they decided to just let off the gas and let me through. They really didn't need to do that, but thank you anyway. So at least we didn't end up in dead last in this final race. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you next time. Bye bye.